Hi there, Pam Dunn here with Your Infinite Life Training and Coaching Company. And today I'd like to have a little conversation about power. You know, whenever that word is heard, for some people it does seem to trigger something. And that's because we often misunderstand what it means, how to use it, how other people use it. We have very limited beliefs about power because of the way that power was demonstrated for many of us. And we want to do it right. We're basically great humans, and we want to express our power in a way that is caring and compassionate. So let's talk about it. You know, there is this concept that power can be given away, it can be taken away, and I just want you to know that that's a very limited concept. Power just is. Power can't be given away or taken away. That's limiting. Power simply is. And what that means is that we use our power. Power can only be used, and it can be used effectively, ineffectively, or misused. So think about that, because if I know that my power is innate, and that at moments when I'm feeling like a victim, or I want to say that I allowed some authority or someone to take my power from me, or I gave my power away. You know, we've said that before. And if you think about it, when you say, I gave my power away, you're actually stating that you willingly gave over your power to authority, which means you used your power in a way that was probably ineffective. So ineffective use of power usually means that we feel like a victim. You know, like there's been times, many times in my life when I have felt that way. You know, like in the moments, especially in parenting, when I would feel like I didn't know what else to say or to do to get my kids to do what I needed them to do, or what they should do, or what was in their best interest. In that moment, I would feel ineffective. And so I would respond that way. If I walked away and gave up, or if I was complaining to somebody else, that's an ineffective use of power. And you probably all have lots of examples of that. You see, but that's a beautiful moment when you can learn and discover and say, okay, if that was an ineffective use of power, then what can I do next time, or even in this situation, to be more effective, to use my power and my expression more effectively? Because if I say that I gave my power away or someone took it from me, I'm powerless. I tell myself there's nothing I can do about it, when that really is not true. Because sometimes the most effective use of our power is to change how we think or how we feel. So now let's talk a little bit about the misuse of power, because those are the times that we actually act like a bully. And I know that's a strong word, because it isn't that we're intentionally acting that way, or if we're yelling at our kids or just getting really firm and mean towards someone else. Then we're usually saying something in our heads or to someone else to make excuses for that, to justify that behavior. But the reality is that it's a misuse of our power, because we are overpowering something or someone, or controlling something or someone, because we don't know what to do. Again, we feel powerless, but actually we combat that with overpowering and therefore a misuse of our power. And that doesn't have to be just yelling or saying something mean. You know, I've done manipulative things. I've done things where I know what I'm saying is a manipulation to get somebody to do something that I want them to do for me. Yes, it may be good for them as well, but nonetheless, it's not empowering to me or to them. And especially when you think about for us, when we're manipulating purposefully or we're doing it in a way that is sneaky, or we're actually being, harsh and mean and bully-like behavior, that is an indication that we're not empowered. And so we overpower, and we'll walk away from that maybe for a second feeling really powerful, feeling self-assured, but that quickly dwindles. And the reason it dwindles is that we actually need to continue acting that way in order to continue feeling powerful. And then the other person doesn't feel empowered. They feel controlled or bullied. And as caring people, we don't want to have that sort of an impact on other people. We want to have the type of impact that empowers other people to do what's in their best interest, to be in service to their magnificence. And so it's important to utilize your power in an effective way. Now, I also want to make a point, I think I said it a little bit earlier, about complaining, because that's something that is important to begin catching yourself doing. Complaining is interesting because it feels justified, and we think that venting makes us feel better. And I know sometimes it may. But the reality about complaining is that it is often either an ineffective use of power or a misuse of power. So pay attention to those times that you're complaining, because complaining is not empowering. We often don't complain to the people that could do something about what we're complaining about. We complain to vent, and that is not empowering. So let's go over 3 things that you can do to begin feeling and using your power more effectively. And also, more importantly, to catch yourself when you're being ineffective in your use of power or misusing it. So the first thing is to ask yourself and to decipher, what are my beliefs around power that limit my expression? Because that's individual. Those are the beliefs that we formed as a result of observing other people in power when we were little, before we were realizing that's what we were doing. So take a look at those beliefs. If they don't serve your magnificence and the expression of who you are powerfully, then rearrange them, change them. Number 2, ask yourself, where in my life do I feel so powerful and express myself so powerfully that I don't question whether it's effective or ineffective or a misuse? Those are the moments, those are the places that you want to draw from, that you want to learn from, because that's a place where you're effectively expressing your power. And you want to do more of that. So draw upon the places where you already do it. That will give you the story. That'll tell you a whole lot about the beliefs that work for you and the way that it feels from the inside out and how you express yourself that's unique to you and empowering not only to yourself but to other people. And finally, ask yourself, what do I need to be powerful? What is it that I need inside myself to be powerful and to feel powerful when I don't? So the only way to do that really is to look in the past, to look at those times when you were either misusing your power or using it ineffectively, and ask yourself in that moment, what did I need? And it may be a different belief, but what was it that I needed in order to feel powerful and to be powerful? Because in that moment I didn't. So remember, power cannot be taken or given away. Power just is. So learn to use your power effectively and to recognize when you're using it ineffectively or misusing it. And check out our website at www.yourinfinitelifeonline.com, and be sure to like and subscribe us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest. We have lots of inspirations on those social media outlets. Have a great day.